Hello and welcome to Web Math Academy. Today we're going to do just a short introduction into the use of the Texas Instruments Nspire CXII CAS calculator. We're going to talk to you about turning it on, accessing scratchpads, and accessing documents. When you first turn on the Texas Instruments calculator, it'll show you a screen of what you last worked on when you turned it off. In our case, we haven't used anything yet, so it just shows us an empty page. But if you press on again, then you get the home screen, which you can always get to anytime you're using the calculator by pressing the on key. Now, we are going to talk about scratchpads. That's basically just like a notebook that lets you kind of doodle in and calculate and draw graphs without actually saving anything. And there are two ways to access the scratchpad. The first is to simply press the letter A, which brings up the calculator scratchpad, or back to the home screen, type B here, and that gives you the graph scratchpad. The other way to reach these screens is even simpler. You just press the calculator icon right here on the left side of your keyboard, press it once, and you'll get the scratchpad for the graphing. Press it again, you'll get the scratchpad for the calculator, and on. You can keep pressing it, and it'll switch back and forth between the calculator and the graphical scratchpad. Now back to the home screen. Let's say we want to work on something and save it. In that case, we would want to use a documents pad. And in that case, you can go over here and type in 1 for a new document. So we'll do that. And then you have all these choices as to what kind of a document you want to add to your calculator. You can use the calculator, graph, geometry, spreadsheets, and etc. So let's open a graph document, and for that we just click on the number 2. And that opens up. It looks just like the scratchpad, except it says document up here, and you can save that for later use. We'll discuss saving in a later lecture, but for now, let's look at two other ways that you can access a document. The first way is to use the icons on the bottom of the home page. These work just like the icons we saw when we pressed 1 to open a new document. So let's use the arrow keys to navigate down, and when we highlight it, in this case the calculator icon, we either click in the middle of the arrows right here, or we click the enter key, and it opens up a new calculator document. The same way, you can do the same thing and navigate down using the arrows again over to the graphing icon, and then click in the center here, and it opens up a graph document. The final way to access the document is to simply press the dock key on the right side of your TI-Nspire keypad. After you hit document, press 1, and then all the icons familiar to you by now that you can choose to make a document. For example, graphs. Just hit number 2, and it brings up a graphical document. And that's it. That's how you obtain spreadsheets or graphs or statistical data, anything you want as far as a spreadsheet, as far as a scratchpad or a document goes. Finally, although I said that this is for the TI-Nspire CXII, it also works for the TI-Nspire CXII CAS calculator. Finally, I have everything that we talked about in a Word document to the right side of your screen here, so you can refer to that until you have it down pat. Thanks for listening. We'll see you in the next lecture.